Revenue Boost is a turnkey solution that we have deployed, and it was really born out of some of the complexity for merchants, whether that was navigating network changes or the constant evolving option of payments available. Where the real gold comes from is marrying that with our payment optimization experts who have many years worth of payments knowledge, under their belt, and really being able to tailor and understand what the merchant profile looks like, and then tailor those features to make sure that they can really accelerate and drive the best revenue outcomes.
I think when you look across the market, there's been very few players who have been able to really generate significant revenue off embedded finance today. When we think about embedded finance, we think about three core products. We think about the ability to open a bank account, to issue a card, and then to do some form of lending off the back of that. The US banking world looks quite different than the rest of the world, and it's quite complicated to move money in the US relative to other markets. And so we want to be able to provide, as part of a broader set of financial services off the back of acquiring and some of our other services. But I would say we're being a little more cautious than we've historically been around what we think the size of the prize is.
Our role with CBDCs will be similar to any other payment method or currency that we support. We try to the extent possible to be payment method agnostic and support the method of payments and the currencies that our merchants want to work with. And as CBDCs roll out in the markets we work in, I'm sure we're going to be supporting them and enabling them for our clients. Some of that will be driven by native demand. In other cases, it might be driven by the fact that it'll be legal tender and we have to do it. CBDCs aren't live in the markets that we operate in yet, so we don't have any firsthand data to share. But what I would say is a couple things. So one is the concept of programmability is really, really interesting. By being on a DLT system, you can exercise some degree of programmability of how that money can be used, which is something that doesn't really exist in a lot of payment methods or currencies today. Now, what does that actually mean? We're in the US today, so talk about some of the stimulus that went out in COVID in the US. Now that that's a couple years behind us, there's been a lot of reporting about how much of that was misused. Now imagine if the government and through its intermediaries could, provide aid or provide stimulus, but program parameters of how that aid or stimulus could be used in terms of what it could be spent on. That's going to reduce fraud and be good for taxpayers and consumers.